Bruh. Got that one out. Talking about some goddamn gender, ethnic. Say the goddamn word.
Liberty save me!
What's good, people? What's good? It's the boy Bun the Great coming to you with not a reaction, not a reveal. It's pretty much a review from Rant. And I personally feel like this shit is crazy as hell. Because, I mean, if you just look at it, Black Myth Wukong review, the Souls-like action hype train is a little off rails. Okay, you know, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but look at this concept art right here. This is crazy work. I love it. But if you look at this, right, we're gonna get into this stuff later on. But look at this. Hold on. Listen to this.
In the role of the Destined One, Black Myth, Wukong takes players on a cinematic, story-driven experience in an action RPG based on an adaptation of Journey to the West. Using dynamic combat and skills to defeat formidable enemies, cunning spirits, and the mythic Yugwai, players traverse through breathtaking landscapes, from lush forests to towering mountains and mystical temples.
Okay, so y'all got the description of the game, right? Y'all really got the description of the game. All this is mystic shit. Or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Then back door, it's Chinese mythology. Or whatever, right? And so I bet y'all wonder, oh, what he's starting out? No, hold on.
While there are elements of great design by developer game science, engaging narrative, and varied boss fights, especially Black Myth, Wukong also presents issues that can severely impact the gameplay experience and reliability of the game. Taking into account its controversies with the current modern gaming audience and expectations of Souls-like games, whether Black Myth, Wukong lives up to its hype is questionable at best.
So, all that was said, hold on, let me pull my mic up, because you know my mic is away from me. So, all that being said, for you motherfuckers to give it a 3 out of 5. You said the combat was fluid and fun, cinematography can be breathtaking at times, right? Good. Great diversity in items and mechanics, but you shit on it. Like game performance, yeah, okay, that's most games. They come out. Most games these days do that or whatnot. They have frame rate drops, glitches. Some of the mechanics don't work properly. They got a buff, boost, nerf, all that stuff. That's cool because honestly, us as gamers, we have allowed that to be in damn near every game we got, because there is no way a brand new game to come out and already have to have a patch or whatnot. What happened to the days where games were tested properly and, you know what I'm saying, put out at its best, you know what I mean? But I understand the new gen and, you know, the mechanics, and everybody want to use Unreal Engine and stuff like that. I get it. I got it. Because I'm going to school myself to be a game developer. So I kind of like see both sides. When you have a deadline to put something out, and then, you know what I'm saying, you don't really have the support, or, you know what I'm saying, you focusing too much on certain things to get your game to come out, or whatever the case may be. And so, like I say, us as gamers, we take the blame for that because we are too understanding on some things. But, you know what I'm saying, that's not my biggest thing. I'm not worried about that. But this right here is the thing that's killing me.
Lacking in inclusivity and diversity.
Lacking in inclusivity and diversity.
One more time.
Lacking in inclusivity and diversity.
Alright, people, so here go the definition for that, okay?
Inclusivity and diversity refer to the following concepts. Diversity, variation in personal, physical, and social characteristics such as gender, ethnicity, age, and education. Inclusion, strategies and procedures organizations implement to integrate everyone, ensuring their differences coexist beneficially.
So you got to be out your rabbit ass mind. If you believe that that should be a part of this game, it's a Chinese mythology, people. Chinese mythology. Like, I don't understand the whole concept of why the fuck you gotta fit into every goddamn thing in anything. Because mostly that shit that they talking about, right, is the woke agenda. You know what I'm saying? Talking about some, what was the definition again? What the shit say? Talking about gender, ethnicity. So we talking about gender, ethnicity, age, and education, right? Why the fuck do mythical creatures need to have that? It is literally a game where you're playing as a fucking monkey. A monkey. And you're going through mythical characters that are different animals. I doubt that you will see an actual human in there. They're humanoids with animal features. Got it. But you talking about some fucking gender? Bro, nobody gives a fuck about that shit. Stop trying to fucking fit in every damn where. That is crazy. Now, granted, every game you play is going to be fucking... It's going to become repetitive over time. It's going to be that. Most games you play from the dawn of gaming, from Atari all the way up to PlayStation 5, up to goddamn Xbox Series X and PC and Steam, has the same fucking thing. So I don't know how, I don't see how that's a breaking point to deduct a point from that. Like, that's beyond crazy. But the thing that gets me is, right?
These fatal flaws consist of frequent stuttering, severe lag, distinct audio, and terrible frame rates. Aside from the frustrating amount of stuttering, the frequent cutting of audio also heavily impacts your experience, especially during boss fights if you're relying on audio cues.
Okay, so I could see that being a thing or whatnot because, like I said, the game come out in 2 days or whatnot. They supposed to be dropping a day one patch to fix it, but that's the whole purpose of having your game being reviewed early so they can fix it beforehand. So I give game science that, because at least they acknowledging, you know what I'm saying, the acknowledging the problems that they may have, because you got to keep in mind it was only one person developing this game by itself when it was announced 3 fucking years ago now. But the part I want y'all to see, as it is currently, unless these issues are subject to change in the upcoming patch, I don't see many players being able to run Black Myth Wukong. If it is this problematic on the recommended specs. Yeah, but see, the crazy thing is, Screen Rant is the only one that really did bad, but then IGN also gave it a 5 out of 10 at first, but then its counterpart, IGN fucking China, gave it a 10 out of 10. They had to go back and look at it because they were looking at this bullshit. Got you some little picture work right here. You know, that look clean as hell. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie to you. But it's one part that I seen that really pissed me off. So let's look at the best features.
One of the best features of Black Myth Wukong is its combat, showcasing an extensive variety of abilities that players can select from and home. In the main menu, you can put your levels, known as sparks, into several categories. This consists of everything from foundation skills, like stamina, martial arts, and survival, to staff stances, mysticism, spells, and more. At first glance, this can seem overwhelming, as players have so much to consider when designing their general combat style. But this isn't necessarily a bad thing, as it allows you to truly customize and create a build that best fits your playstyle.
And okay, so I don't know if the person that wrote this review actually played any Soulsborne games, because that have always been there. Creating your own build, putting the best uniform on to fit your character. Don't let them have set pieces to where you gotta have 3 to 4 sets so you can unlock that set piece maximum power or whatnot, and it gives you a boost. Oh my God, don't know what I'm saying? I hope they don't put that off in there. Like, come on, man. Whoever wrote this right here, they should not have even written this at all. That just lets me know you have not played a Souls-like game, Soulsborne game. Because that's typically what the fuck you do. Alright, moving on.
As for how combat performs itself, players only use a staff as their main weapon, which is clearly an intentional move by game science, wanting players to have a pure melee-focused fighting experience. With the abilities and skills available aside from your weapon, and with all the varied combos and stances that players can channel through their staff, combat isn't repetitive or boring, but extremely fun, engaging, and satisfying.
Okay, so this is where you contradicted yourself, right? In your rating, you literally said, hold on, let's go back up to it. Right here. Gameplay becomes repetitive over time, right? But then you just said down here, combat isn't repetitive or boring, but extremely fun, engaging, and satisfying. So which one is it? Was you just shitting on the game because they didn't allow the diversity shit, aka gender stuff, because people saying it's fucking 50,000 genders? No. You literally contradicted yourself on this right here. So, like I say, let's just keep going.
One unique feature that Black Myth, Wukong introduces is that there is no blocking or parry system, aside from a spell with a cooldown, making you rely solely on dodging. While this is an integral skill in many Souls-like games, not having any other means for defense forces players to learn how and when to effectively deal damage while keeping themselves safe. This vulnerability adds a challenging layer to boss fights, penalizing players who haven't mastered this skill.
Okay, so that right there, that is understandable, because it's a lot of games like this where they don't have parry. You know what I'm saying? Like with Bloodborne. You have a pistol. You can parry with your pistol. You have to time it right, boom. And then if you run out of bullets, you have to rely on dodging. You have to rely on dodging. Like this article, to me, it seems like it's trying to deter players away from playing the game, because if somebody were just to read this part right here, it would just make them think, oh, this game is too hard for me, I can't play it. Or, you know what I'm saying, it'll boost up everything because you're making like the game is just so hard that, you know what I'm saying, you're going to have people like me buy it anyway, because I already got mine pre-ordered anyway. And yes, you do have to have a certain level of, I'm not going to give up, I'm going to beat this fucking game. It ain't just about skill, it's about not giving up. The good method comes into play. Okay? I hope y'all understand that. The get good method comes into play. I'm sorry.
The main downside to how combat performs in Black Myth, Wukong, is that most light attacks feel somewhat weightless and static, and can be spam-clicked to take enemies down. While this isn't the case with bosses, it is mainly the heavy attacks and combos that feel impactful when inflicting damage from their uses. Moreover, There seem to be no stealth-based abilities that would thematically fit in the realm of this Souls-like world. I would have enjoyed being able to sneak up behind enemies and deal critical hits with my staff, or climb up onto higher ground and deal a quiet jump attack. This seems like somewhat of a missed opportunity, given the landscape and environment surrounding you.
Okay, so yeah, but see, okay, so this is my thing with that, right? Elden Ring introduced the whole stealth mechanic, the whole jumping mechanic. Elden Ring introduced that, right? Other games has introduced that as well. But like I say, if you played the previous Souls games, that shit wasn't fucking existent at all. Now, granted, you can walk up and backstab somebody if you don't run up on them, or whatever the case may be in Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, or whatever the case may be. But sometimes, if you do something too loud, that motherfucker gonna turn around and you gotta fight him. It's called stop being a punk and play the damn game. Like, goddamn. This article is really just talking shit, and are you a fucking Souls player? That's the question.
The inability to use the terrain to your advantage and demonstrate parkour abilities is a huge shame when the world appears to be so interactive. The restriction of movement makes gameplay fairly linear, in which the environment purely serves as a means to get from place to place, with pretty views in the background. Chapter 2 does provide a much more explorative and open space, feeling more like an RPG, but it is still fairly vacant, and the Destined One's lack of maneuverability and mobility is all the same, but in an expanded landscape. On the surface, there's a lot more to see, but instead, the environment makes it far more tedious to get to certain bosses, while unable to traverse them properly.
Because y'all motherfuckers done got too used to going straight to the main fight, or going straight to the mission instead of snooping around and trying to discover other stuff, or aka doing fucking side quests, exploring it a little bit more. Why you want to just go straight to them, man? Like, make the shit make sense.
Moreover, bosses also don't seem to use their environment very much, except Link, Susie, and white-clad noble bosses in Chapter 1, but even so, to a limited degree. Boss areas serve as nothing more than an arena. It is extremely contrarian to how the arenas are designed, as they appear to have utility, but don't at all. While Link Susie does jump atop the roofs of some surrounding buildings, it is just so that he can gain the high ground before lunging at you, which isn't a move that is unique to how the environment can be used effectively. However, white-clad noble uses his environment more effectively, dipping in and out of the water and utilizing it in his inherent attacks.
You want to know why? Because, you just said it didn't have diversity and all that shit. That's diversity. Bosses change. Different bosses do different things. Yeah, of course, they have a big-ass arena just for you to fight the boss. But, hell, that's in every game. Like, what are you talking about? Have you played Sekiro where you was in a boss area and a lot of the boss, like when you play against the fucking monk? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Initially, I thought that players could take advantage of the environment by seeking protection from surrounding structures, but this feature seems to be inconsistent. Sometimes, a large rock or boulder can block incoming attacks from bosses, while at other times, this won't work, marring the experience and making fights frustrating.
It's a Souls-like game. Why do you want shit handed to you? That's just like when I was in the army, a fucking soldier did a 2-mile fucking run. He did it in fucking 14 minutes, and he thought he was gonna get a fucking award for having a 14-minute fucking 2-mile. No! It's called you getting good, keep up the good work. That's it. Why the fuck do just this article, people want shit to be just handed to them? Like, damn, what the fuck? Oh, large rock. Come on, man. Fuck out of here. That just lets me know you haven't played no real Souls-like games at all.
Another problem with Black Myth Wukong's environmental design is its placement of shrines. These vital rest points are inconsistently placed, showcasing a lack of consideration and strategic thought in how players can most effectively travel.
Have you played fucking Demon Souls? Have you played fucking Bloodborne? Because, okay, so Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 3 and Elden Ring are the ones that spoiled everybody with the fucking grace points and these goddamn campfires. But Demon Souls, no. You get one spot way in the fucking back, and then you explore out and you open up shortcuts. Same thing with fucking Bloodborne. Like, have you played anything like something similar to this? Because this is making me question your thoughts and opinion on this game. Like, do I need to listen to you? But this is the main reason why I don't listen to reviewer companies, channels, and none of that stuff. And I gotta play it myself, because what may be shit to you may be something that I'm used to or I'd love to play. Make it, you know what I'm saying? I don't want, if I want to play a game that's handing me some type of shit, I play fucking Call of Duty, even though they got campers in there. But Souls-like games, it's more of a challenge. I like challenging games. Like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about?
Occasionally, another enemy may chime in, but it isn't necessarily more challenging to fight crowds when, in Souls-like games, enemies are usually not so forgiving. However, enemies do progressively become tougher at a natural rate as you progress in the game, exploring new moves, but they are still repetitive.
Okay. I don't think this person actually knows what they're talking about.
Black Myth. Wukong is on par with larger Souls-like games like Elden Ring in how boss-heavy it is, but then its runtime is probably half the amount, if not less. This is because bosses are incredibly frequent and are not spaced apart very well, and therefore don't have much build-up or anticipation. Some Souls-like fans may prefer not to have so much filler between boss fights, while others like to thoroughly explore and work their way up to a boss fight.
Bro, the fucking DLC for Elden Ring they got over 100-something fucking bosses. Are you serious about what you're saying? How are you going to say it's on par with Elden Ring, but then you try to shit on it by saying the boss fights are too close together? What are you talking? So you didn't play the Elden Ring or Elden Ring DLC. Don't make a comparison if you don't know what the hell you're talking about. We're going to get this last little spot.
Their spacing feels somewhat wasteful due to the inspired setting provided, and it would have been nice to incorporate more exploration between boss fights, rather than just serving to get you from place to place in a very linear way. As you progress to Chapter 2, bosses are slightly spaced out better, giving you more to do in between, but not by much.
That's just ridiculous. To me, you just finding some shit to complain about. Because if you haven't noticed how most Souls-like games are, they always have a boss that's going to teach you the mechanics of the games, how to fight. And then they have a runner-up boss. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like I say, if you haven't played any Souls games, just say that. Because I feel like you just talking and just trying to write some shit down at this point. On that.
While my analysis and review of Black Myth, Wukong remain focused on gameplay, it's important to mention the controversies surrounding the game's studio and the reports of misogyny and sexism from developers. Playing as a female gamer allowed me to notice issues surrounding inclusion and representation. As far as Chapters 1 and 2, while characters are clearly fictitious and fantastical creatures, there were no female or feminine NPCs, enemies, or bosses present. The only exception, if you can call it female, is a boss named Mother of Stones in Chapter 2, which is nothing more than a still, glowing rock with no abilities, being guarded by other enemies. The lack of diversity and inclusivity resonates with the misogynistic comments reported to have been made by developers, which expressed disdain for women playing their games. Although Black Myth, Wukong does have truly enjoyable moments, the underlying feeling that women aren't welcome in this world felt present throughout my gameplay experience. It's worth noting the game is based on the novel, Journey to the West, which does consist of a few important female characters. To not include any women or to only include a few in an adaptation meant for a modern audience is quite disconcerting. While this doesn't take away from the exhilaration and fun of boss fights themselves, women fans of Souls-like games may have a different perspective, especially given that, according to reports, the developer also suggested that women aren't capable of enjoying or being skilled at these types of games. The irony behind this sentiment is that Black Myth, Wukong is among the easiest of Souls-like games, and may have overestimated its ability to hang with them in terms of difficulty. While thematically and stylistically it undoubtedly falls under this category, it does not quite fit the bill in the technical skills required, such as is achieved by games like Elden Ring, Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, and many more.
So, you upset because it don't have a lot of female presence in the game. That is ridiculous. Honestly, to be perfectly honest with you, no shade to the female gamers, but it's not a lot of females that play Souls-like games. It's not a lot. Because all the females I know, I say it's only one of them that plays it because they genuinely like it. The other ones I know, they downloaded the game. They couldn't even get past, they couldn't even get to Renala for Elden Ring or whatever. Some of the games, a lot of females are not fucking playing because it is hard. So how you going to get mad at a person for stating the fucking obvious on something? You can literally look that shit up. You can look it up. And you can see how many females play. You can just go to Twitch and type in Elden Ring, and you can see how many females playing it and how many males are playing this shit. Like, dude. And honestly, I seen a female character off in the game any damn way. But it, like I say, it's a fucking mythical fucking game, bro. Mythical. Chinese mythology. Like, what are we talking about? You just trying to find some reason to shit on the fucking game because the goddamn sweet baby motherfuckers want to come in and make everything fucking flamboyant. Like, come on now. What are we doing? What are we talking about? If the game beat your ass, just say the game beat your ass. That's it. Just say the game beat your ass. That's it. It ain't got shit to do with, oh, it wasn't no females off in the game. Like, I'm gonna let this shit run again.
While my analysis and review of Black Myth, Wukong remained focused on gameplay, it's important to mention the controversies surrounding the game's studio and the reports of misogyny and sexism from developers. Playing as a female gamer allowed me to notice issues surrounding inclusion and representation.
Fucking stupid. Anyway, so I hope Black Myth Wukong do great. I hope this game pretty much blow out everything. Cause we're not gonna go through the rest of this because this shit is making me. This article right here, the person that wrote this article shouldn't even have wrote this fucking article because for one, you giving fucking slap in the face compliments, backhanded compliments, and then you throwing in the diversity shit and talking about a whole bunch of shit that I know for a fact you have not played Souls games. From where Demon Souls evolved from all the way up into fucking Elden Ring. And all the other Souls-like games, like fucking Lords of the Fallen. How you played that? Like, come on now. Come on now. It's a bunch of Souls games, Souls-like games that I promise you that you haven't even played. But to be honest with you, y'all just mad because Game Science didn't want to fucking deal with Sweet Baby and add all this extra bullshit off in there to appease you. That's it. To appease you. Like, come on, man. That shit sounds selfish as hell. This is their development, their idea of a game. and you're just mad because you want to put a little piece of you in the game. I hope nobody else works with people that is like that at all. Because if the game is meant for all that, it will be a game meant for that. But matter of fact, why won't you make your own game? Why won't you make your own games? Like, come on, people. But anyway, I think I done said enough. This rating still pisses me off, or whatever the case may be, because I don't feel like she actually rated the game to the best of her ability. She should have had somebody come in and help her with it. That's it. And then the crazy thing is they tried to hide who wrote the game. Not the game. They're trying to hide who wrote the article. They tried to hide her. But you already know how the internet is. The people already screenshotted it and put it on the internet anyway. I'm not going to show it or whatnot because I think this is dumb. I don't think she needs to get fired. I just think she needs to just step back and get some more tutoring on how to be a game journalist. Stop looking at stuff to feel included. Because honestly, this game could have just came out in fucking China. Or over there. You know what I'm saying? In the Asian areas. And not came over here while you talking shit. But they already know how the West, the United States, how we are with their culture. Like, come on, man. Everybody know about Sun Wukong. A lot of people know about Sun Wukong. You want to know why? Because goddamn Goku is based off of Sun Wukong. But anyway, I appreciate y'all being here with your boy, man. What do y'all think about all this foolishness that's in this article? What do y'all think about this? But anyway, this is Bond the Great. Hope y'all have a nice day. Signing out.